Hey, Alan Seaborn here. Recently, my wife and I were watching a documentary. We love to watch things about animals and how they're operating in the natural world. So we were watching a documentary about lions in Africa. And I learned something really interesting that I want to pass along. Maybe some of you already know this, but the way lions hunt was something that was really interesting to me. Because I found out that, first of all, only the females, the lionesses, they're the only ones that hunt in the packs of lions. And what they do is they find a herd of some animal that they're hunting. And let's say there are 8 lionesses in this pride. They'll put 6 of them over here on this side. The herd of what they're hunting is right in the middle. You got 6 over here. And then 2 of the lionesses will sneak around on this other side. And they'll hide, they'll wait for the perfect moment. And then they'll pop out. Now, they're intentionally being spotted by this herd of animals in the middle that they're trying to hunt. And what they'll do, they're on this side, they scare this herd of animals over to the 6 lionesses in the pride that are waiting right there. They're just lying in wait. And obviously, they run the herd straight into this ambush that they have no idea is coming. And I'm watching that, I'm like, I can't believe it. They're so tricky, they're so manipulative, they're so deceitful in the way that they hunt. And it made me think about what sometimes happens in our lives when we have our eyes on the wrong things. Because that's what happens to this herd of whatever it is, deer or elk or whatever. In the moment, they're so focused on these 2 lions over here that they're not even thinking about all the things that are normally on their radar. About how to avoid danger, about how to be careful about what they're doing, where they're going, all these different things. They just know, I'm focused on this, I'm taking off. And we do that so often in our family lives. We get focused on the fact that we're dealing with some kind of pain or health thing, the fact that finances aren't in the spot that we wish they were, the fact that we don't know if our job is going to disappear and we're going to be laid off. We get focused on these things that they are important, but they're not the most important thing. And what we find is that we're reacting when we're looking around and we're dealing with the urgent thing in the moment. We lose focus on what our normal priorities are. And we kind of excuse ourselves. We say, well, yeah, of course, I'm tense. Of course, I'm reacting this way. Of course, I'm being a jerk right now because you don't get it. I'm facing so much difficulty going on in my life. I'm not really worried about that. And we miss our priority of our spouse, of treating them with love and respect and being kind and gentle and generous and all these things and listening to them. We miss it with our kids, giving them quality time that they need and investing in them the way that we normally would because our mind isn't there. We're not focused on the right thing. And for those lions, you know how the story ends. For this herd that they're chasing, it ends, with the lions getting their meal. And for a couple animals in that herd, how the story ends is that's the end for them, period. That's obviously, we're not facing that dire of immediate circumstances if we continued focusing on the wrong things and falling into these traps that, life's not setting these traps, but we walk right into things by focusing on the wrong thing. And when we do that, over time, we can damage relationships. And we do the same thing again a few weeks later and cause more damage and more damage and more damage. And eventually we get to a spot where we're going, well, I don't want this for my marriage. I don't want to have this kind of relationship with my kids. And the way we avoid getting to that spot, that unhealthy place where there's been so much hurt and so much disappointment, is we remember in the moment, even when we're dealing with tough stuff, even when we're facing something in our lives that we don't want to be dealing with, we keep focused on our priorities. We make sure that we love our spouse, that we love the people in our family the way that we want to treat them all the time, not based on circumstances. And if we do that, we're going to continue to be winning at home.